first of all, this is a piece of persuasive writing you did a week ago. Tell me about this writing.
What do you mean?
It's what?
What do you mean?
Say that again.
I said, what do you mean?
What were you trying to do with this piece of writing?
This is to get money for coming to school, to be good at school.
Okay, and where did you think of this idea from?
I don't know. It just popped up in my head.
Okay. How do you think your writing is so far?
My writing?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I focus, it'll be good. But if I'm just, not really on task so much, then it's not going to be that as good as I can.
Okay. Well, what I really liked about your writing is how you support your argument. You said, I know a lot of kids would agree too. That is one piece of evidence that you use to support your argument. I also like that in your second paragraph, you tell me the problem and the solution. So the problem, you said, was that kids don't come to school. And the solution that you gave was that if we paid you, you would come. You'd be more likely to come. So those are two pieces that I really enjoyed with your writing. Something I noticed was that you used some of your ideas over. So you repeated some of your ideas. You said often, start getting paid a lot, and you said that later on down here. And I also noticed that you used the word good, which is a fine word, but I think you can add more complex words in your writing. So what I want us to do today is to look at your writing and pick either phrases or specific words. Now, the words can be either a noun, a person, place, or thing, or a verb, or an adjective. So if your verb was run, you might think of another word that is more complex than the word run, okay? Like sprinted, right? So we're going to look at words and phrases that we can improve on and make more complex, underline those, and then fix them, okay? But first, I want to show you a sample piece of writing, and we're going to do this together to see how we could fix it, okay? So this piece of writing is called Cross Country. I was moving right along over the fresh powder. Then I saw it, a hill. I called to my friends to slow down, but she didn't, or she just went on, down as if she didn't hear me. So in this writing, I see a verb, moving. What's another word, actually a phrase, moving right along? What's another word or verb that I could use instead of saying moving right along? We could use sprinted. That gives us a clear image in our head of how she was moving, right? So I was sprinting over the fresh powder. Or usually when you go across country skiing, you kind of glide. So we could say I was gliding. I was gliding over the fresh powder. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. It says, then I saw a hill. Hill is a noun. We can make that more descriptive by saying what that hill looked like. So instead of just saying a hill, we could say a hill of death. And when I say a hill of death, what comes into your mind?
That if you fall off you're going to die?
Right. I see in my head really steep sides of a hill. Okay? So those are two examples of how I underlined a phrase or just a word, and I added to it. Okay? So instead of saying just a hill, I said a hill of death. And instead of saying moving right along, I said gliding. Okay? So let's go back to your writing. And I'm going to give you 3 to 5 minutes to pick 3 phrases or words that you think you can revise. Then we're going to come back together and take a look at it, okay? All right, go. Okay, so let's look at the writing that you fixed. Tell me about what you fixed.
Well, I fixed good behavior because I think a better word.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you replace it with?
Excellent.
Okay, and can you read your new sentence for me?
I think that in school we should get paid for excellent leadership.
Ooh, and you also switched behavior to leadership. Okay, what else did you change?
Into during.
Okay, so that was a transitional switch. It makes it more, we get a better knowing of when this is happening.
So this is basically to help me improve my writing on better words.
Yes, because remember in your interview you talked about how you thought something you could work on is the words you use and your ideas. So this is one strategy that you can use whenever you're writing to look back and make a revision. So you would write your first draft and then you can go back and say, instead of saying good behavior, I could say excellent leadership. Okay? Let's take a look at just one more of the things that you revised.
I know from my knowledge.
Okay, so how would that sentence read from the beginning?
I think that in school we should get paid for excellent leadership during school. From my knowledge, many of kids will agree to.
Great. Those are great word choices, and I think your first paragraph is already looking better than it did. So, great.